Hello guys, and welcome to a new YouTube video. In today's video I am going to be talking a little bit about inflammation and how we can reduce inflammation. Now, as a disclaimer, I do want to say that I am not a doctor, I am not a health professional yet. I am currently a nutrition and health student, so I want to share a little bit of my knowledge surrounding this topic and also what has worked for me, so you can take these tips and use them at your own discretion. Now, there is a lot of information on the internet. Because I do want my channel to have a certain level of credibility, I am going to link a few sources down in the description where you can investigate for yourselves about, the benefits of these wellness shots and the information that I am going to be giving you today. So inflammation is characterized when your body, T cells specifically, they produce something called TNF alpha and interleukin cells. Interleukin 1, 6 and 17 to be more specific. When there is TNF alpha and interleukins in excess in your body, this is what promotes inflammation. There are many reasons why someone might get inflammation, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a chronic condition. But there are some examples: inflammatory bowel disease, arthritis, metabolic disorders. There's also general inflammation. It doesn't have to be a disease or a condition. Anybody can get inflammation really due to lifestyle factors or just many factors in general. So whatever the reason, we're gonna be making some wellness shots that can reduce inflammation. When we go to the doctor, when we go to the GP, they usually prescribe NSAIDs or DMARDs, so disease modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. These drugs essentially inhibit T cells from producing TNF alpha and interleukin cells in excess. But the issue with these conventional drugs is that they may help, alleviate the symptoms, they may help, reduce inflammation or disease activity. While these drugs may help, they also damage your body because there are always risks and side effects. When you use natural foods to treat inflammation, there are less risks, less side effects. So we're gonna be making the wellness shot with 3 very simple, very basic ingredients. We're gonna be using ginger, turmeric, I got these from Sainsbury's, and we're gonna be using a lemon, but I am gonna be using lemon juice. Obviously it is much more ideal, like I 1,000% recommend you use a natural lemon. It's just for the sake of time, I ran out of lemons, and for the sake of making them today, I'm just going to be using lemon juice. But I would normally use a natural lemon, and that's what I do recommend. And we're going to be making these in the juicer. After we make the wellness shot in our juicer, we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. This is because turmeric on its own, it has low bioavailability, which basically means that your body doesn't absorb as much of it. When we add the black pepper to the turmeric, it increases bioavailability so that your body can absorb more of it. Okay, so with that said, let's get to juicing. I use these 3 bottles to put the juice in, and for the rest I'm gonna be freezing them into ice cubes. Also, please excuse my voice. This is a week later and I've just got a sore throat. So I'm actually coming from the future to explain to you the properties of turmeric and ginger while you watch me make them. So ginger has a compound called gingerol. This helps reduce inflammation because it blocks cyclooxygenase enzymes, or for short COX enzymes. When it's acute inflammation, these are the enzymes that mainly produce TNF alpha and interleukin cytokines. But when it's chronic inflammation, T cells are responsible for producing those inflammatory cytokines. So ginger helps reduce inflammation, and it also supports joint health. It's also great for digestion, and it can also boost your immune system. Next up we have turmeric. It has something called curcumin, and it has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It also blocks COX enzymes, and it reduces TNF alpha and interleukins. Turmeric can also help brain health, and it may improve joint function. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. Lemons are rich in vitamin C, and this helps boost the immune system, and it's also great for detoxifying your body. And finally, we're adding our black pepper, which, as mentioned before, it increases the bioavailability of the turmeric. And this is what I am left with. It does look like a lot because I added some water, but I'm transferring it into a different jar so that I can add a little bit more water. And here I'm just transferring the juice into the ice cubes and the little bottles. This is what we're left with, guys. To be honest, this is quite a large amount for shots. So what I was explaining here is that my little bottles are actually quite large for shots. So what you can do is you can either enjoy them as shots by drinking an amount you feel appropriate for shots, or you can make them as tea. And what I have been doing as well is making them as tea. So I pour a little bit into a mug and then I pour some boiling water and honey over that, and I enjoy it as a healthy tea. And the bottle's actually finished now. I have been using the ice cubes. I just put one ice cube into a mug, and the same thing, I pour some hot water and some honey over that. I also want to add that as there are foods that can reduce inflammation, there are also certain foods that can trigger and increase inflammation. While you're taking these wellness shots, you might also want to try to avoid the foods that can trigger inflammation. I'm not going to get too into that subject. That might be for another video. So that has been all for today, guys. Thank you very much. If you have reached the end of this video, don't forget to subscribe, guys, and drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below if you want to see similar videos in the near future. Thank you very much for watching. Stay blessed, happy and healthy. Bye.